There's something in the air around this team, and if you've been riding with the Bills long enough, you can feel it too. It's like we're standing at a crossroads right now, and the decisions coming could shape the next few years of this franchise. Two completely separate headlines dropped, but somehow they feel connected. Both about the same position, both about weapons, both about what this team is willing to risk to finally get over that hump. And if you care about Josh, if you care about this window we're in, you know exactly why this matters. One of these stories talks about a bold move involving another AFC team, a swap that nobody saw coming. The other? That one's even bigger. It's the kind of move that would shake the entire league if it happened. And I'm telling you right now, if even one of these becomes real, it says everything about how serious Buffalo is about going all in. We've been asking for a true number one. We've been debating the receiver room for months, and now it feels like something is brewing. Before we break this down, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button if you bleed red, white, and blue. Subscribe to Bills Nation Update if you're new here. We're a brand new channel trying to hit our first 2,000 subscribers, and if you're a real Bills fan who lives this stuff every day, this is the place for you. Let's get into this first situation, because this one is wild. There's a prediction floating around that the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars could actually swap wide receivers. Brian Thomas Jr. heading to Buffalo, Keon Coleman going to Jacksonville, potentially with draft picks involved. Now pause for a second. An AFC team trading a young receiver with upside to another AFC team? That already feels complicated. But when you really look at the context, you start to understand why this even became a conversation. Brian Thomas Jr. was a first-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Huge expectations, big talent. But in the 2025 regular season, he took a step back, and Jacksonville's receiver room got crowded fast. They traded for and extended Jacoby Myers from the Las Vegas Raiders. Then they used the number 2 overall pick on Travis Hunter, who can play both wide receiver and cornerback. And even though Hunter is expected to take more defensive snaps, he's still part of that offensive equation. And the Jaguars say they want to keep Thomas. Of course they do. But every team says that, until the right price shows up. Now flip to our side. Keon Coleman had his struggles in Josh Allen's offense. And let's be honest here. Since we traded Stephon Diggs a couple off seasons ago, we haven't truly established that star receiver for Josh. We've been searching, rotating pieces, hoping someone becomes that guy. But it hasn't happened. And this is where ESPN's Bill Barnwell comes in. He proposed this trade because Buffalo desperately needs a true X receiver. Someone who can line up outside, win contested catches, command attention, and immediately become Josh Allen's number 1 option. Barnwell even pointed out something that really matters. The Bills are about $10 million over the projected cap before offseason adjustments. Brian Thomas Jr. His contract? It's a bargain for the next few years. That makes this financially interesting, not just emotionally. And here's the part that caught my attention. The Bills have publicly criticized Coleman in the past. That tells you something. Teams don't do that lightly. So the idea of Buffalo potentially moving on from him to make room for someone like Thomas? It's not shocking. But here's where it gets tricky. Both Thomas and Coleman are at similar stages in their careers. Neither has exploded yet. Neither has become a proven superstar. So the idea of Buffalo sending a first-round pick along with Coleman? That makes no sense. There was talk of a structure involving picks. Maybe Thomas plus a 5th rounder coming back. But honestly, that only works if there are no premium picks involved. It would have been a completely different conversation if Thomas was coming off a 1,000-yard breakout season. But he wasn't. And Buffalo giving up a first rounder for potential? That's risky. On the Jacksonville side, though, it actually makes football sense. They've got Parker Washington coming off a breakout 2025 season, 65 receptions, 954 receiving yards. That's real production. Add in Myers and Hunter, and the room is crowded. Coleman going there gives him a clean slate. He could compete for the WR2 role in Trevor Lawrence's offense, especially in slant route concepts where his physicality could actually fit nicely. And let's not forget, Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence literally faced off in the wild card matchup last month. These teams just battled. Do they really want to risk watching a young receiver they traded away explode against them in January down the road? Look at what happened when the Minnesota Vikings let Sam Darnold walk in free agency, and he later joined the Seattle Seahawks and won a Super Bowl. That regret sticks with you. That's why this feels unrealistic right now. If this deal ever happens, it probably happens during the 2026 regular season. Not right now. But the bottom line is simple. Buffalo needs fresh hands. Jacksonville has an overcrowded receiver room, and both Thomas and Coleman might benefit from a fresh start away from Trevor Lawrence and Josh Allen. Still, this move feels like a calculated adjustment. The second story, that one feels like a franchise-defining swing. And if the Bills are even thinking about that level of aggression, then we're talking about something way bigger than a simple swap. Let's talk about it. Now, this second story, this is the one that makes your heart race a little. There's a prediction out there that the Buffalo Bills could trade for Justin Jefferson from the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, that Justin Jefferson. CBS Sports' Jordan Dajani put this out there as an offseason prediction. And it's not random. There's real context behind it. First, think about history. Back in 2020, the Bills sent 4 draft picks, including a first-round selection, to the Vikings to bring in Stephon Diggs. We all remember what that did for Josh Allen's career. It changed everything. It elevated the offense. It unlocked a new level. Now, fast forward. Dajani is suggesting Buffalo could once again look toward Minnesota for a franchise receiver. This time, Justin Jefferson. And here's where it gets really interesting. Our new head coach, Joe Brady, coached Jefferson at LSU in 2019. Brady was the passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach during that historic undefeated season. That offense was powered by Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. It was electric. It was unstoppable. Now Brady is leading the Bills. So, the connection is real. It's not made up. They've worked together. There's trust there. There's history there. If Buffalo even considers this, though, let's be clear. It's not cheap. We're talking at least 2 first-round picks. And that's probably just the starting point of negotiations. You don't trade for one of the best wide receivers in the entire NFL without paying a premium. And make no mistake, Jefferson is elite. In 2024, he played alongside Sam Darnold and still put up 1,533 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns across 17 games. And that's with a quarterback who, as good as he's been the past couple seasons, is not Josh Allen. Imagine Jefferson with Allen. There's no doubt Jefferson has never had a quarterback with Allen's arm talent, mobility, and playmaking ability. That combination would terrify defensive coordinators. But here's the bigger layer. Jordan Dajani also pointed out something that fans don't always talk about: pressure. The Bills front office is under pressure. Joe Brady is under pressure. There's urgency. After the firing of Sean McDermott, this organization has to prove that decision wasn't a mistake. This is about winning now. Yes, Brady oversaw the #1 rushing attack in the NFL this past season, but his background is in the passing game. That 2019 LSU offense wasn't built on running the ball. It was built on explosive aerial attacks. And then there's Josh. Josh Allen turns 30 this offseason. We love to think quarterbacks play forever now, but let's be real. We might only have a few more peak years of prime Josh. This is the window. This is the moment. If there was ever a time to go all in, it's now. So when you compare the two stories, the potential swap involving Brian Thomas Jr. and Keon Coleman versus going nuclear and trading multiple first-round picks for Justin Jefferson, you're looking at two completely different philosophies. One is cautious adjustment. The other is pushing all your chips to the center of the table. And when you put these together, what does it tell you? It tells you the Bills know standing still isn't an option. They know the AFC is loaded. They know Kansas City isn't disappearing. They know what it feels like to fall just short. This offseason feels decisive, not comfortable, not patient, decisive. And honestly, I'd rather live with the consequences of being aggressive than look back and wonder what could have been while Josh was in his prime. Now I want to hear from you. Would you rather make the calculated swap and hope a young receiver blossoms here? Or do you empty the vault and go get Justin Jefferson? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk like real fans. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps this video reach more of Bills Mafia. Subscribe to Bills Nation Update. We're a brand new channel pushing toward our first 2,000 subscribers. If you're a Bills fan who wants honest takes, real emotion, and no sugarcoating, this is home. We've got a massive offseason ahead. And something tells me this is just the beginning.